PC Gaming Vortex. My name is Hikaro and I'm coming at you from SOE Live Day 3. And today I am here to talk about Everquest Next Landmark. We got a lot of new information and I have some great videos to show you also about all the new things coming to Landmark, and they're coming soon. So let's jump right in. The big announcement that came for Landmark this year at SOE Live was combat. They are adding combat. More specifically, they are adding PvP combat. Now I know the second I said that, a lot of you freaked out, thinking, why would they put PvP in Landmark? It's a building game. Well, here's the thing. PvP is only going to be consensual. So that means that the only time you're going to have to worry about someone killing you is when you said, I want a PvP. You're going to go to a claim, you're going to join a game, and you're going to join in a PvP match. So what that means is that people are going to build PvP arenas on their claim and adjacent claims. You're going to enter those and be able to jump in and play a PvP game with a bunch of players. Now, the cool thing about the PvP games being created is they're just like the rest of Landmark, giving you the tools so the sky's the limit to create what you want. Now, these tools are awesome. The way they work is you drop a game table into your main claim that you want to use for PvP. Then you have these little game pieces you put in adjacent claims you want included. And then there are specific pieces that you'll put that are like game pieces, like the capture point, or you can set it to be like a death match, or things like that. So you're actually going to be able to set it up rather easily. One or two items dropped, and then bam, your claim's a PvP arena if you want to do that. Now the cool thing about that is someone had mentioned that, you know, what happens when the PvP match is done? Everything's destroyed, the whole world is blown up, did I just sacrifice my world for that, my claim? The answer is of course not. After a few seconds after the match is done, bam, everything's fully healed, ready for the next match, which is fantastic. Now the combat itself is rather unique, I think. The way they're doing it is it's going to be 2-button combat, but it's varied. So what I mean by that is there aren't any classes in Everquest Next Landmark, like you would see in EQ Next or EQ2, etc. It's all based off the weapon you're holding. So if you have a sword, you have abilities based off of that sword. If you have a staff, you have abilities based off of that staff. You have a left click, which is a quick attack, and a right click, which is a more powerful attack. Completely based off the weapon you're using. They also had mentioned that it's very important that the weapons dictate the style of play. Like, for example, they're going to have 3 weapons when they implement this in the game, which is on August 27th of this year. So we're talking a couple weeks out now. We're going to be getting this combat. So the 3 weapons they're going to include is the marksman's bow, a sword, and a staff, the conjurer's staff, I believe it was called. 3 very distinct styles of gameplay. So obviously the sword is going to be up close and personal, the staff's going to be more sniper-like, it's going to be shooting from a distance, marking your enemy, and the staff is going to be, you know, magic-based. It's going to be heavy damage but glass cannon risk. A lot of variety in that. They already talked about a lot of other weapons. They showed some concept art and such, and I will put those images up on the screen so you can see those. They also showed some footage of a set they're not including quite yet that's coming soon, the Fiery Sword and Shield, and I will include the video of that for you there now, so you can see that. The cool thing about this is it really makes it, once again, the sky's the limit. So any idea that's suggested to them or they come up with for a class, like a combat style, make a new weapon. You've got it. It's that easy. So they could just keep adding things into the game so that new game styles can be used. They had also mentioned that Landmark is not set in a specific era. So this is not necessarily a fantasy game. You're going to see laser guns, you're going to see old Wild West guys, 6 guns, you know, 6 shooters, all that stuff is going to be implemented in the game at some point. So it's going to be like setting agnostic, I guess you can say, where it's going to jump all over the place, which is cool because some of the concept art they showed looked really neat. Some of the ideas down the road. They had something that looked like Clint Eastwood out of a Western. They had, you know, old-fashioned wizards, battle armor, gladiators. I mean, these are really neat. And that leads me to the next concept, which is armor. So the way that the combat works is obviously, like I said, 2 buttons, quick attack and a stronger attack. And then they're utilizing a health bar, of course, and an armor bar. So an armor bar, it kind of works like a shield. Depending on what armor you're wearing and what accessories you're wearing, you have a specific amount of armor. The armor absorbs damage first before it hits your health, and it does recharge if you don't take damage over time. Kind of like a shield in like a sci-fi game like Halo. But I think that works really well. The combat is extremely fast-paced, and I think it's important to have that shield, otherwise deaths would happen way too quick. Now the armor also is going to have attributes that are going to make a difference. So for example, say you're using that fiery sword and that fiery shield. Well, you're going to want things that have fiery on it. It's that easy. You want stuff with the fire keyword. So you want armor, you want accessories that have that fire keyword. Combine it all together, you're going to get bonuses, like for example, if the fire keyword's on the armor, it might do extra fire damage, dots might last longer, you know, whatever it is, the sky's the limit. You could have different keywords like lightning, healing, magic, you know, whatever they might come up with, that allows you to mix and match and really find the best way. Now, do you have to use the sword with like a gladiator, or can I look like a mage and have the sword? You know what? If you think that's the best thing, you can do that. If it's going to work best for your combat, you can equip any combination you want. And that works awesome. They did say that when it comes to the combat and when it comes to the accessories, they will have appearance slots. So say you just want to look like a wizard and have the sword and all that stuff, you can do that too. So it doesn't really lock you down to where you have to look like what you're wearing. Appearance, most SOE games are there, so you can do the appearance slot items, you know. Look exactly like you want, look like a gunslinger, but still fight with a giant sword and have heavy armor on, which is fantastic. So, of course, if you have combat, you're going to have death. So they've added 2 new types of damage into the game, so to say. Falling damage and drowning. So, you know, these were coming. They're in all MMOs. It's going to happen. So, I'll show the video now. It's pretty hilarious. Where it shows the falling damage, it shows the drowning, stuff like that. You see some of the death animations. And it's a natural progression when you add combat to have these added into the game at the same time. Now, they're also adding another item that's kind of a hostile item, and it's called the landmine. I'll put the video up so you can see the landmine. The landmine's pretty neat. So setting traps with the landmines, putting them in hidden spots, it's pretty cool. Right now you can only put them in the PvP claims. These aren't going to be spread around the world to mess up your fun. They're really conscious about only having people play the content that want to play the content. They're not going to force anybody into combat if you don't want to. If you want to stick to building, if you want to stick to exploring and mining and resource gathering, you're welcome to do that. And that's the beauty of this game. It's going to have something for everyone, and you choose how you play the game. And that's huge. I'm glad they're doing it that way. Any other way just I don't think would work very well. The other thing they're adding into the game is some advanced objects. Now, they're doing teleporters, so it teleports you from one pad to the next pad. They're doing flingers, where when you get on it, it flings you up in the air and it sends you towards a designated spot when you build it. And then they're also doing moving platforms, so you can imagine the platforming possibilities on claims. Now these are the things that I'm sure a lot of people have been asking for, because they want to set their claims up in a different way. They want to set their claims up to be like little jump puzzles and things like that. And of course in PvP those things are going to be fantastic. They also announced monsters, adding monsters to the game, and I will put the video up of the monsters so you can see some of the ones that they show they're implementing. Now PvE is coming later, although it sounded like some of the PvP elements were coming very soon. PvP is coming late, or PvE is coming later, and the monsters will be added at that time. I didn't get a whole lot of detail about if there'll be monsters out in the world, or if monsters are going to be exactly the same as PvP, contained to claims, and you're pretty much volunteering. I do know they had talked about in another panel that they were going to do the ability to make your own dungeons and make your own adventures in the future, where you can add monsters and add objectives and things like that. And you know, that's awesome. With the PvP, one of the questions that was asked was, will there be friendly fire? Friendly fire is an option that is up to the person that builds the claim. So if you want friendly fire in your game, put friendly fire in your game. If your match type doesn't want friendly fire, just turn it off. It's completely up to the creator, which is good. Leaving it up to the creator is the way it should be. So from what I've seen so far, Landmark is shaping up to be something I was not expecting. I thought Landmark was going to be introduced, and it was going to be the way to build and create and really drive the creativity of the community, and it was going to be completely a separate concept from EQ Next. What I'm seeing is that Everquest Next Landmark is a big playground. It really is. It allows you to create dungeons, it allows you to create PvP matches, it allows you to play the game however you want. Whatever you can think of to create, they're probably working on it, which is amazing. And that's the kind of stuff that I like to see, is that innovation. It's not just build a beautiful building, hoping it gets put into EQ Next, build a beautiful building, express your artistic muscles and creativity. It's a big playground. You jump in, do whatever you want, sky's the limit. And that's fantastic. I look forward to seeing some of the PvE content, which is what I'm really looking forward to in the game. I have to say I'm not too incredibly artistic. The stuff I build is pretty basic. People are building giant castles. I'm lucky if I can build like a TP made of rock. But I love the engine. I love the exploration. The game looks beautiful. And I love looking at what people are creating. I look forward to seeing some of the PvP arenas and some of the weapons as they release them as they come. So what are you most excited about coming up in Landmark? Are you excited to see it go past basic creation? I shouldn't call it basic creation. There's something basic about some of the beautiful things people are building. But are you excited to see it go past the creation concept into combat creation and dungeon creation and content like that? Or were you hoping it was going to stay at the core that it is now? Let me know in the comment section below. Is there anything specific you're looking forward to seeing? For example, is there something like the moving platform that you were hoping to see? I still got one more day of SOE Live, so if you want me to hit a developer up and get that idea in there, now's the time. They're definitely listening. So we're going to do something very special during the end of this video here. I'm actually going to do a contest. Now the contest is going to be for an item for Landmark called the Feather in a Bottle. And what that does is it allows you to double jump if you have it equipped. Now I actually have multiple of these. I have 5 different codes for these. So the way the contest is going to work is really simple. All you have to be is subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. That's it. Go ahead and leave a comment. You can put whatever you want in the comment, preferably something about the video. You know, what do you want to see about Landmark, what you like about Landmark, but I'll take whatever you want to put in the comment section. The way we're going to do it is every week I'm going to pick one random person from the comments and I'm going to give them a key. So that'll go for 5 weeks. Now keep in mind, if you don't win the 1 week, your name's not going to go away. If you commented on the video, it'll still count towards the next one. Only one comment's going to count. Your name only goes in the hat once, but it will continue to carry over if you do not win. So that's 5 different chances to win. Just leave a comment, be subscribed to the channel. Easy stuff. Thanks for watching. So, from SOE Live 2014, my name is Hikaro, and I will see you next time.